Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Julyesvicka Gita Darmahatari and I want to tell you about the textbooks. The type of the textbooks is workbook. So the title of this book is Talk to Me in Korean Workbook Level 1 and then written and designed by Talk to Me in Korean. So, this workbook is designed to be used in conjunction with the Talk to Me in Korean Level 1 lessons, which are available for free at www.talktomeinkorean.com. So, developed by a certified teacher to help you review and retain what you have learned in the Talk to Me in Korean lessons. This workbook contains 6 main categories of review and 13 types of exercise. The publisher is Kong and Park & Company, and then the book was published in 2020 with 128 pages. So, the categories are: first is vocabulary review, second is writing, third is listening comprehension, fourth reading comprehension, fifth fill in the chart, and sixth dictation. So there are many types of exercise such as matching, fill in the blank, multiple choice, dictations, draw a picture, translation between Korean English, short answer, define and translate, conjugation, write your own sentence, Q&A, and scramble, and write. So the last is certifications. So the dictation category was designed to aid in the development of Korean listening skills. When you comes across the dictation category, you will listen to an audio file of a word or phrase in Korean and write down what you hear. The dictation audio files are available for download in MP3 and then the format at www.talktomeinkorean.com/audio. So, these books are provide romanizations, but I encourage you to refer to our quick guide to Hangul. So, to help you learn how to read and write in Hangul, only relying on romanizations hinders your learning actually prevents you from becoming better at Korean. So do yourself a favor and learn Hangul if you have not already. So first, I want to talking about the lessons from this workbook. So lesson 1, this lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, writing practice, comprehensions, and dictations. So the topic of this lesson is about hello and thank you in Korean. So next is lesson 2. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehensions, dictations, and writing practice. And the topic of this lesson is about yes, no, or what in Korean. So next is lesson 3. This lesson has 5 sections consisting of vocabulary, unscramble and write, comprehensions, writing practice, and dictations. So the topic of this lesson is about a goodbye, and then see you in Korean. So next is lesson 4. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, dictation, and then draw. So the topic of this lesson is about I'm sorry, excuse me in Korean. Next is lesson 5. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, translation, writing practice, comprehension, dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about it's me and what is it in Korean. So next is lesson 6. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, writing, and dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about what is this, and this is in Korean. So next lesson is lesson 7. So this lesson has 3 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, and writing. So the topic of this lesson is about this, that, it in Korean. So next is lesson 8. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, translation practice, comprehension, and dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about it's not me in Korean. Okay, next lesson is lesson 9. This lesson has 3 sections consisting of vocabulary, writing practice, comprehension, and then that is. So the topic of this lesson is about topic and subject marking particles in Korean. So next, lesson 10. This lesson has 3 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, and dictations. So the topic of this lesson is about have, don't have, there is not in Korean. Okay, next is lesson 11. So this lesson have a 4 section consisting of vocabulary, writing practice, comprehension, dictation, and then the topic of this lesson is about please give me in Korean. So next is lesson 12. This lesson have a 4 section consisting of vocabulary, writing practice, comprehension, dictations. So the topic of this lesson is about it's delicious, it's tasteful, thank you for the food in Korean. So next is lesson 13. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, writing, dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about I want to in Korean. Lesson 14. This lesson has 3 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about what do you want to do in Korean. And then next lesson is 15. So this lesson has 3 sections consisting of vocabulary, writing, and dictations. So the topic of this lesson is about Sino-Korean numbers in Korean. So next lesson is lesson 16. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, writing, dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about basic present tense in Korean. Next is lesson 17. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, fill in the chart, comprehension, dictation. So the topic of this is tenses in Korean. So next lesson is lesson 18. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, writing, comprehension, and dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about location marking particles in Korean. Next lesson is lesson 19. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, writing, dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about when in Korean. So next lesson is lesson 20. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehensions, let's count, dictation. So the topic of this lesson is about native Korean numbers in Korean. Okay, next lesson is lesson 21. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehensions, fill in the chart, dictation, and the topic of this sentence is about negative sentence in Korean. So next lesson is lesson 22. This lesson has 3 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehension, dictation, and then the topic of this lesson is about verbs in Korean. So next lesson is 23. This lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, unscramble and write, comprehension, dictation, and then the topic of this lesson is about who in Korean. Lesson 24. So this lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, translation practice, reading comprehension, dictation, and then the topic of this lesson is about why and how in Korean. So here finally we have a last lesson in this book. So lesson 25 is the last lesson. So this lesson has 4 sections consisting of vocabulary, comprehensions, writing, dictations. So the topic of this lesson is about from A to B and from C until D in Korean. So guys, this is my opinion. I think the book is the best for foreigners who want to start learning Korean. So because this book is very good for people who want to learn, and then not only in conversation but also about writing and reading. I think this book can reach all age because some of the exercises are aimed at beginners. I like how this workbook keeps the reader from getting bored while working on the lesson given, because the lesson is so many. So I think if you don't have various types of the exercise, you can get the bored. So because the various categories of review and types of exercise can make us more challenging to work on all the lessons. So free time is the best choice for you to work on the lessons from this book. Don't worry, this book also includes an answer key. So to be honest, it is not less from this book. If the target readers are people who want to learn Korean deeply, this book is the best choice to get satisfactory results from the exercise in this book. But if you want to say it, this book provide a less question in the final lesson, like shouldn't we practice a lot in difficult topics? So I think I will rate this book. I give from 1 until 10, I give 5 for this book, because this book really extremely trained me in writing, especially reading Hangul. And honestly, I have been used to watching dramas so far, so I already know a lot of Korean vocabulary, but I can sort into one sentence because the sentence structure is different from Indonesian. So in my opinion, this is not too difficult but not too easy, because this is something new for me in writing in Korean. I think it's enough for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.